All right, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justmoparjoe. Let's start up the 508 today. What do you say? So here it is. I got to get it loaded onto my beautiful rinky-dink run stand. My step one made my life easier. I put my bottom and water pump pulleys on with this little fan. Kind of give it something to pull a little air and spin the water pump. So that's kind of the way of doing it if you don't have an electric. Run it easy, and this belt is actually tight, so it would spin even going down the racetrack. I think it would probably be fine, but he'll put an alternator on here later or something. We'll figure that out, but this would be great for what I'm doing. I get my flywheel bolted on, so jack her up, flywheel on, bell housing on, and then I bolt my bell housing and all to the little stand itself. So it's kind of a light duty thing. You can just walk and pick it up. It's not as nice as a lot of them out there, but it is very bare bones and does the job. So well, now it's starting to look like something. My spark plugs on this side were tight. I put a little dent in my header there because I didn't want it to burn. These are some old ones that I had a complete set. You see they're old, just 7mm junkers. I got a new set of these MSD Street Fires, and I've used them before and had good luck, but I didn't want a chance. There's your part number. Putting them on. These are all straight. There's no 90s on those. I didn't want a chance putting them on and burn them up somehow. I think most of them would have been okay. The ones back here are kind of questionable, but I like how with the 90 at least I got them wire tied. They got some pretty good room. It may not look like it there, it doesn't matter. It's clean and clear. Y'all just have to trust me on that. I got all my plugs in. I had to steal the battery off my race car, and that means the Mopar tax is going to go up on this deal. But since you got to run today, I think made myself some AN lines, just simple to go to that pump. And we won't know if that pump is not enough until he tries it on the racetrack. This is going in an 80s truck. It is not my engine. I think a lot of people were confused about that. Belongs to a friend of mine. I built it for him. So hopefully everything goes smoothly today. Got my gauges hooked up back there. I'll get my timing light out in a minute, but I'm gonna get our camera set up and hit the key. See, our key is live at 5 here. She spins over nicely. I'm gonna get my finger in number 1. I have a million videos showing this, but I'll do it right now just for fun. That's how I do all of them. That's it. We come around. Okay. And you see we are almost, it almost locked, stayed right on TDC there, or 0. So I'm gonna roll her backwards with my big socket if I can get it in there. And we come back. That is about 12. We can go a little more. There we go. I just pulled the mark back. It's probably closer to 15. That's totally fine. Our number 1's gonna be over here. And if that is offensive to you, then you can pull your distributor and pull your intermediate shaft and put it wherever you want to. But you'll have to do the finger thing again. So I'm totally fine with it being there. Magnetic pickup. See where she's lined up at. See, it's a little bit off here. Sometimes I like to line that dude up where it's in sync or pointed straight at it. And it, you know, we'll see where See our relationship with the cap. There's our cap. This is actually a Summit brand cap I ordered, and rotor came together. The rotor's nice and tight on there, but having these copper lugs in here, or brass, whatever they are, supposed to be better. It's got a little vent at the top, which is nice. Put our mark on. And it is pointing right at that one right there. Woo! Shocking, isn't it? There you go. I don't want to do that again. Turn the key off. That felt good. I don't know if y'all can see that electricity or not, but I felt it. I'm gonna mark my number 1 on both sides of my cap. That does mean we have fire. And the way my fire is hooked up, this is just an old coil. Hot wire ran to that side. My blue wire, yellow stripe. Basically just wired this up like you would if you didn't run a ballast resistor, bypassing the resistor. And there's brown with yellow stripe is the negative. If you had a tack, it would go under there. Then the other two coming out, plug into the distributor, just like that. We follow it over to that orange box, and there it is. You only use 4 wires. So as far as I know, he wants to get an FBO box, and that's exactly how you wire it. I got a couple different videos on that. FBO likes me and I like them, so we got a nice agreement. But I'm leaving this all as it is now. I'll get my timing light out and get her wired up. I think everything's ready. Got my timing light hooked up. I went ahead and just put my lead on this side, so it would be hanging down out of the way. The fan will be spinning, so I want to keep all my wires, all that out of there. I'll put some gas in the bowls of the carburetors. See if we got a squirt. Yeah, there we go. I always like to put a throttle spring just in case. I don't plan on doing any of that business, but you never know. I need to get my big screwdriver, and I can go ahead and open it up. This is a hydraulic roller camshaft, so it shouldn't have to run too long. There we go. All plug wires on. I have not tried to start it at all. Figured we could just do that together. It's not a big deal. I got my earplugs in. I got my glasses on. Mufflers on. I know somebody's out there crying, talking about my earplugs and ear protection, but it's okay. Hopefully, I'm gonna grab my, grab a 1/2-inch wrench. Hopefully, tighten her up a little bit. The timing is pretty close, and maybe a little more. We don't want her dancing any. She ran about 10 minutes. Everything looks good. Check this out. I don't see any leaks. Our temp got up to almost 190. See it there, or just barely over. So that's fine, especially with this super dinky radiator. I think we're looking really good. That plug wire is probably going to go ahead and melt off here in a minute if it hasn't already. Oil pressure was nice. It's over 75. It may be a little high, but we'll see. It's all a little warm. I'm not going to touch. I'm not going to open that cap, but for the most part, I think she's there. Sounds nice. Revs super strong. I had to brace up my run stand, partially because it was bent in from when that 413 was on there, but when I could tell when it was starting to crank up, that dude was starting to give, and I didn't want it to flip over. So it needs a little patch up, but I'm pretty tickled. We can see how it starts back. No alternator on this. I don't know how old the starter is. Some kind of Chinese rebuild or something, but she ought to start by the key anyway. There we go. Pressure came back. So our warm full pressure should be about 60. Nice. I never did hook up PCV. All that capped off. Straight engine. It was good hooked up. Awesome. Well, I got a water leak out of this 200-year-old hose here, hooked to this super old radiator. Nothing from the engine though. We're so dry and nice, it's wonderful. I went ahead and hooked up our PCV. She's doing really well. I'd like to see some break-in miles on it. Obviously before it gets hot rodded, but I bet you it's going to run really well in the truck. Probably be spinning a little half-ton truck around if you're not careful. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching and following along with this build series. It is going in a little hot rod truck, and we'll someday see a racetrack. Maybe we can get it on a chassis dyno or something. That was kind of talked about. You know, just one thing at a time. I appreciate y'all watching. I've got several more engine build series to do this year, so I hope y'all follow along for that. Small block and big block. Anyway, I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch you next time.